I think it will. Awesome. Okay, cool. Hey, well, what's up, guys? I'll get started right on the tip of the spear. Hey, Pia, how you doing? Grateful to see you. I think I like seeing you guys. You guys all look lovely, but for the sake of the replay, I'll put a spotlight view in as well too. My face does not look as good as all of yours for sure. So welcome, guys. Hey, so we started up this director lounge just gosh, maybe a month ago or something like that. And it's going to be a very important place. It's already an important one because every single organization rises and falls based on leadership. John C. Maxwell, the leadership guru, who here's listened or watched or read his book, any of his books. I think he's written probably 80 books now. I think that's something like that. When asked, how did you write so many books? John Maxwell quickly says, you must be old to write 80 books. And you know what? That's kind of true as well too. But no, everything does rise and fall in leadership. So the intention of the Director Lounge and this group is to be able to develop the next layer of leadership. So in this group, the goal is every other week or so, we'll have a mastermind session. We'll be able to talk to you about things that we just can't talk about other places as well too. And it's important as rising leaders for you to be equipped, for you to understand, for you to be able to lead not just yourself in your own business, but also for you and your teammates as well too. And today in particular, we're going to be talking about probably one of the hottest topics that there is, that is also probably one of the biggest challenges that the company has and confusion points that we all have, to keep it real as well too, which is earning the trips. Who here wants to earn a trip through Partner Co? And at the same time, who here has been very confused on how to earn it? If you're not, hey, good job. But I will be real. This is when it comes to where corporate's at. All right, like we're in a great place with Partner Co. We just came back from Puerto Rico. We're out there for two things. Number one, we're out there with the Partners Council and the North American Partners Council. We were able to hang out with John, Darren, and we did a whole mastermind session and talked about 2025. Future looks super bright. And then at the tail end of it, we had a challenge that we threw to the entire organization. For those that went the title of senior officer and above, they were able to earn a trip out to Puerto Rico as well. So we had a great time. I see Donna Sambula that's on this line. She was able to earn the trip. So congratulations. And so much that happened there. Pia, awesome. I'm glad that you did your spreadsheet. Lily, hello. Grateful to see you as well too. But I will tell you this, just so you don't feel bad, if you ever feel bad, if you're ever like, man, why don't I get these trips and stuff? Let me just be real. No one in Partner Co right now has figured out trips. It is one of the top places that we as a company, both corporate and field, want to figure out. And to be honest, we left the Partners Council with that still a question. It was a question mark. Like, how do we earn it? How do we make it simple? How do we make it so that the newest person can just latch onto it and win? Now, the bad news is that the good news is you have a Becky Zhang. And Becky Zhang, we've ran with these trips for many, many years. We understand the comp plan very, very well. If you worked with us, I know Pam Middleton on this line, she's won multiple trips. So like we understand how these trips work. So Becky gets a bright idea because one thing that we fail to have is a tracker. So Becky, while she's pumping in the middle of the morning, wakes up, and what else are you going to do at 2 a.m. in the morning except make a dynamic spreadsheet that'll track your business, right? Who else does that? She does that, cranks it out. The next day shows it. I'm like, what? That's crazy. All of us have our giftings, right? Mine is definitely not in spreadsheets, not at all. So that's where the spreadsheet was born. So today, what I want to go through with you is to give you a high level understanding of how these trips work. You don't have to understand, but I think it's wise too, because leaders know why, followers know how. Who here wants to earn and live like a leader in network marketing? You want a residual or recurring income, right? Residual is not compliant anymore. You want to be able to have leverage. You want to be able to expand. So I'd encourage you to aim to understand how these work so that you as a leader can guide yourself and your people in the future. But even if you don't understand that yet, then at least today you'll know how to really use this tracker for you and your people. And I will tell you, This team will have the most people qualifying for these trips around the world because we're already on it. We're really good at this. We want, if you're on this line, you're going to win. Like, that's our intention. Like, you're all coming on this trip with us. Okay. Some of you already are, and you might not even be aware of it. Okay. So how do you earn these trips? At PXP, it was announced, hey, we're going to have two major trips. One is Dominican Republic for North America. Punta Cana sounds really fun. And then they flashed this number. You have to earn 600,000 lifestyle credits. And wait, there's more, even better. Then there's Bali. And there was if you remember, there was an exquisite video and it's super tropical and it's picturesque. And then it flashes 2.2 million lifestyle credits. And if you were in that room, you felt the emotion go from absolute euphoria to complete, I can't do this, dismay, sadness, and all that. And it's because no one understands how these work. Okay. So let's break down a couple of things. Lifestyle credits. Lifestyle credits are, there's a whole training in it in your Share app. You can watch that. You can look at that if you want to. There's many different ways to earn. But basically, it's a way to gamify your business. Or whenever you do income producing activities, like you enroll a new customer, you sponsor a new partner, you go title, you go to the events, like there's some special packs at PXP or some of these events. There's lifestyle credits tied to that. Any of these types of income producing activities, did you know that this is actually another way that we get paid in the compensation plan that's already amazing? It's like reward points. So you get extra credits that most of us are not even aware of because they're kind of tucked into your back office. Who here had a chance to check your lifestyle credits, by the way? Give me a wave or put a me in the comments. Like, some of you might actually be surprised when you looked at it. You're like, wow, how did that happen? Right? It's like, okay, that's really, really cool. So the intention is to kind of be reward points there. Now, if you want to win or earn the trip, the reality is this: out of all the 10 plus ways to earn lifestyle credits, there really is only one that matters that will help you to hit these trips. And that one metric is what you call pay line volume growth. Okay. Put the letters PLV in the chat. Pay line volume growth. What is pay line volume growth? Pay line volume growth is, if you know, as you're building your business, you build your two teams, you're going to have a power line, the line with your more points, and then you have a pay line that week, which is the one with the smaller points. They can flip back and forth. For you to go director, you needed 2,000 pay line volume in 1 week. So many of you have hit that, and plus more as well too. So pay line volume really means that your organization is producing more volume, more sales, and you're making more money. I actually really like this metric. This is the healthiest metric to have. Why? I believe in network marketing. You start playing one game and then you want to evolve to the next one. If you want to be in the top 1% earner, who here wants not just a cool title, like officer sounds cool, right? We want to get to 100 plus officers in our team, right? Like $1,000 plus a week. Officer sounds great. Who here doesn't just only want the title, but you'd actually want to earn 1,000 a week consistently as well too plus, right? Like, that's what's more important, the lifestyle over the title. Nothing wrong about a title, but the saying is you can't take a rank to the bank. Now, why is payline volume so important? And how do you actually change this? Now, I don't know if you've struggled with this. I have, because I'm naturally a person that I like to win. I like to play games. If I'm not motivated by a game, like my productions before would just plummet. I was the type of person in my business that you would call a bonus baby, a promotion person, meaning that if there wasn't a promotion, if there wasn't a bonus, if there wasn't a game to run with, my income would be like this. It'd be like up. And then the next week, it's like I took a vacation. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's like, it looks like a heartbeat, right? It's like intense, up and down and up and down. And it's super emotional. And none of us want that. And I remember to myself, like, I knew I didn't want those results. Like, I knew I didn't want those results. But at the end of the day, I just couldn't break out of that hump. Now, how do I break out of that where Now, I mean, that's not the game anymore. How did we transition from the promotion game to the lifestyle game? It was actually by tracking and winning an incentive trip just like this. Our first incentive trip we won through network marketing was back in 2014. All right, me and Becky had just started. We just got together. I think I hadn't even proposed to her yet. We were just dating at the moment, but we had big goals and we had little in the bank account. And we saw this trip of Cancun and we're like, we need to make it here. And guess what? It was the same game. It was payline volume growth. That was what we were tracking. It's 26 weeks of a base. So how does payline volume growth work? You look at the last 26 weeks of that promotion period as a base. So if you pull up your tracker, we have a couple of things here. Let me show you this one. So the Punta Cana tracker, if you haven't had it yet, be sure to grab that. You can see there's periods. So there's a qualification period, which is from September 24th to February 2025. The way that payline volume growth works is you take a 6-month period or a 26-week period. There's 52 weeks in a year. That means half of that is 26. Okay. So you take the first 26-week period, you count up every single payline volume you've had week by week by week, and then you get a sum total. So let's say, for example, in the 6 months prior to when this contest started, which if you look at this tracker, the base started March 2024 in week 10. That's like mid-March. Okay. And it goes for 26 weeks down to August 24th, week 35. So I think it was week 10 to week 35. That was your base that you were measuring your payline volume. So they calculate all the payline volume total. There's your base. So let me give you an example. If you did 10,000 payline volume total in that first base period, the goal of payline volume growth is in the next 26 weeks. Everyone's base is week 10 to 35, Tammy, correct. What determines your growth is when you look at week 36, September 2024, all the way down to week 9 of 2025, which is the end of the qualification. This goes for both North America and the Australia and the New Zealand trip. It's all the same base. So if you did 10,000 payline volume total in the first 26 weeks, the following 26 weeks, you have to match that 10,000 base, and then you have to grow from there. Every 5,000 payline volume growth, put 5,000 in the chat below. Every 5,000 payline volume growth from one period to the next period gives you 25,000 lifestyle credits. So for every 5,000 payline volume growth metric you have, you get 25,000. So if you grew by 10,000, guess what? You get 25,000 times 2, which is 50,000. If you grew by 20,000 payline volume, that's like a lot, right? 100,000 lifestyle credits. So do you see how payline volume growth, that metric is a lot of points? That's honestly the only thing that matters when it comes to earning these trips. So it's a game of endurance though, because this isn't a 1-week promotion. This is a 26-week endurance race where your goal is to match what you had before if you were involved before. Some of you are so new, you didn't have a previous base. You're just running from scratch. So all growth is growth. Like I see Janine here. I think all of her growth is growth because she didn't have a base. She just got started, right? So the game is match and to grow. Let me ask this question. Who here would want it where every single 6 months you are making more money in your business compared to the last 6 months? Does that make, like, we all want that, right? What I love about this game is it forced me to look at the most important metric of an actual business, which is, are we actually making more sales over the course of time? And are we actually making more money? So back to the story. Me and Becky, we want to go to Cancun. We're broke as a joke. We're like, we need to go. We need to make this. We see ourselves dipping our feet in the beach and, sipping on pina coladas and hanging out. I just wanted that experience, right? Every week we had a tracker just like this. And every week we knew on average how much we needed to do in payline volume. And there were some weeks we hit it, There were other weeks we missed it. When we miss it, we're like, oh my gosh, we need to recalculate and re-strategize the following week. And it was literally, I remember they announced the end of the deadline for the trip was at like a PXP type of event. It was literally all the way up until the wire. That last week, we actually wrapped it up and we had an experience of our lifetime. We went to Cancun, all expenses paid trip, changed our life. Since then, we're like, we need to go and we need to bring our people there as well too. Okay. So that's how this tracker is going to work. And every single one of us can absolutely do this. All right. So how do you use this tracker then? Let me give some examples. So I'm going to use a real life example of someone in our team that's actually won this already. I'm going to start with our Punta Cana trip, and then I'll end off with our Malaysia trip, which, by the way, it doesn't matter if you're in North America or if you're in Australia, New Zealand. Did you know that any trip in the world in PartnerCo, you can claim your credits for anywhere? Yeah, I know. So come. Like if you want to go to Malaysia and you're in North America, go for it. I just called Lucy West, Vice President of Canada, and she's in charge of Asian Pacific and everything. She's like, yeah, you guys could definitely come. Sweet. And our Aussies and our Kiwis can definitely come to North America or to the Punta Cana as well too. All right. But let's go through this first one. Here's the tracker. Now, what you want to do is read everything that's in the yellow first. And it says this: only fill in the cells in light red. Do you guys see this on my cursor? Here's light red. So all of these places where there's a light red color is where you put in information, okay? You want to make sure that you can make a copy of this if you haven't already. If you don't know how to make a copy of a Google Sheet, you go to File and you make a copy. Why? This way it is editable to you and you can use it, okay? So you have this in red. Then let's keep on reading what's in yellow. Once the number in dark red is negative, you did it. So if you scroll down here on the bottom left, this is the part in dark red. Dark red, this represents and it summarizes how far are you from qualifying from the trip at the different qualification levels. If it's negative, a negative number, that means that you surpassed what you needed to do, okay? So let's keep on reading here. This also gives you, if you want to know the requirements, there's 4 tiers to win it. You can have 1 person without travel, 1 person with travel credits, 2 people without travel, 2 people with travel. I might as well, I'd encourage everyone, win it all. Win it all, okay? But even if you have to pay for your airfare, it's absolutely worth it. These trips, PartnerCo spends a lot of money on. And I'm telling you, even if I were to buy my own trip, the way that PartnerCo does it is a notch above. They treat you like VIPs. You feel super special. It's a lot of fun, okay? So those are the different metrics that are there. All right, let's keep on reading. It says here in the second part of the yellow, you want to go to the My Money report. In your volume report, go to the period or the week number and input the lesser number under the column called total volume for title advancement and global profit sharing. Let me show you what this looks like. So what is this relating to? You want to start here where it says March 24, week 10. You want to go back in history and fill in your base first, your first 26-week base. And you want to go back and fill in how much Payline volume did we have. Now, note, some of you, like a Janine, was not involved during these periods. So if you were not even involved in PartnerCo yet, during these weeks, put a 0. Don't leave it blank, put a 0. You want to make sure you put a 0, otherwise it'll mess with the calculation at the end. But if you've been involved since before March 2024, then you're going to have numbers that are here, okay? So let me give you an example. Here's an example of a teammate that is actually already qualified. We have many teammates that have qualified. Every single person that went to Puerto Rico with us has already qualified, by the way. And I'm pretty sure there's teammates on this line and in our team that we're just not aware of yet that already can go as well too. So when you go to your back office, there's the My Money report. And under My Money, you click on volume, okay? When you click on volume, what you're going to see is your actual volume reports. So how does it look? It's going to pull up this report where it's going to, this is the most accurate report in all of your back office, by the way. This report is cool. You can put in anyone's ID number in your downline and you can look at their weekly volumes or weekly sales. But specifically what we want to do is, you see this place where it says period. It gives you the week and the year. I'm going to go back to the beginning of our tracker. So we want to go all the way back to week 10 of this tracker, week 10, 2024, March 2024. So let's go back here. I'm going to pull down this drop-down menu and I'm going to scroll all the way back. Now, if you notice, this teammate, it doesn't go past week 18. Why? This teammate got started week 18. So this person got started after week 10. So I'm going to go back to the furthest one. That's week 18 of 2024. And now I see that there are some numbers here. Okay. So what am I going to do? Let's say I'm going back to this tracker sheet. I'm going to fill in for this person, week 10 through 17, there was 0. So I'm going to put 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. All right. Now we have some numbers. How do you calculate this? Do you guys see on the right-hand side, it says total volume for title, advance, and global profit sharing. This is on a desktop, by the way. You can do this on your phone too. You might have to expand the view as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the lesser numbers in this right column. Now, most of the time for most people, you're only going to see 2 rows. You're going to see a 1.1 income position 1 line 1 and a 1.2 income position 1 line 2. Most people run with 1 income position. Most people are driving with 2 lines. Sometimes you might have auto balance volume, meaning you got customer volume and personal volume. So auto balance will actually automatically dump your extra volume into the lines that pay you the most. So that's why in this situation, this teammate, you notice this teammate has 3 lines at this moment. So how does that work? How do you calculate the pay line volume of this week? If you have multiple lines, they designate one is the power line, your anchor line, the bigger one. The other 2 combined are all pay line volume. Okay. So Tammy's got it. So let's designate the first one as power line, doesn't matter. You calculate 276 plus 180, and Tammy got that. That would equal to 456 volume. Okay, 456. So I'm going to put 456 here. And as you do this, you're going to notice that it's going to start updating these numbers automatically. This Google Sheet has formulas already in it, so you don't have to do any calculation. It does it for you. Let me go over 2 more weeks of an example so we can run along with this. Okay. Let's say the next week, week 19. Yeah, leave the customer volume out of it. All the customer volume will have already auto balanced. When you're looking at this report from weeks that have been paid out, all of your customer volume and preferred customer and personal volume will already have been auto balanced in these lines. So you can see this. So how about this one? All right. Question, how much pay line volume is in this week for this person? Put in the chat if you know what that is. I see there's total volume for title, advance, and global profit sharing. Yeah, 630. So you have 790 is the power, 630 is the pay. So we're going to put 630 in week 19. Let me assume that we did week by week by week, and let's just fly forward a little bit. Let's go to week 42. Let's say we did it all throughout. By now, I mean, this person's gone bananas and their business is really starting to do amazing things. Question in this example, in week 42, what is the pay line volume during this week? Joanne's ahead of it, 49.49. The one was smaller, right? Line 2 has 11.195. Line 1 is 49.49. So if I'm going back to this example, this is week 42, I would have put that number in here. Okay. Does that make sense so far? Where this red column, this pink column is, you just want to go week by week by week and plug in the pay line volume. Does it take a little bit of work? Yeah. In the future, will PartnerCo have a tracker that'll do this? We sincerely hope so, and I think they will. But you know what? This is one thing I want to give you as a mind state. That If you are willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do, you will live a life that other people are not able to live. Did you know that when we first got started in this compensation plan, we had no website, we had no products, we had no back office. We literally were selling a dream for months. Most people are like, oh, you can't build a business. We were like, let's lean into this. Let's solve the problem, because entrepreneurs that solve big problems make big money. Okay. So what I'm grateful for is we have something that works. Partner Code is going to make it a lot easier. What's our goal? Our goal is to, and this is one of my number one missions with corporate, is to have a straight tracker on the front of your dashboard. So it does all this for you. So you don't have to calculate everything, right? But hey, what are we going to do? Are we just going to wait till next year? Who here wants to travel now rather than next year? Right? It's like, so we have this, so take advantage of it and lean into that. Okay. One other thing that you want to fill out is there's also this current lifestyle credits. You want to put this as your base. Now, where do you find your current lifestyle credits? Well, if you read in this yellow, it says you go to My Money, Partner Co Lifestyle Rewards, you sign in, and then you're able to put in that information into this tracker as well too. Okay, so going back to this example, My Money, Partner Co Lifestyle Rewards. When you click on that, it'll tell you to sign in. And when you sign in, you're going to see a page that'll show you many different ways to earn your lifestyle credits. But it'll also show you up here how much lifestyle credits you currently have. If you're on the phone, by the way, I've noticed you have to flip your phone to the side. And then when you have it in, I think that's called landscape mode, you'll see the credits. This is on a desktop. So you want to find your current credits. Don't look at anything else. If you want to, you can, but everything in this tracker right now is kind of messed up because we've changed the base of when this contest starts and stuff. This report has not caught up with the other stuff. Just look at how many credits that you have currently. Okay. So this teammate has 102,219. We're going to put that into this tracker. And guess what? So the calculations in the red will be added to this number in the report. Absolutely. Let me give you this. This is a filled out example of this teammate. We actually went through everything. So let's look at this. You guys see we put in the current total lifestyle credits. It was 102,219. So there's a base. It also has, if you look down the right side here, we went every single week and we calculated the payline volume with the 26 weeks of a base. And then we have the 26, not 26 weeks. So we're still in this growth period right now, but we have up until now the most up-to-date payline volume growth. So now that that information is in there, let's go back here. You'll see other numbers start to populate here. Okay. So number one, just to explain it to you, the reason why this is kind of interesting right now is usually it's a 26 week by 26 week comparison. Before it was week 1 to 26, then it was week 27 to 52. This year, corporate made a shift to match the growth periods to when the trips are announced. So at PXP, that was a start. So right when PXP started, you had a fresh start to be able to grow from. Who here kind of likes that? You like it where it's like, I'm at the event, it's go, and we're going at the same time. Because before, what happened was you go to PXP, you're super fired up, you find out about the trip, and then you find out you're already halfway done for the qualification. And then you feel very sad because you're like, I just lost half my time. How can I even get on this trip? Man. So we made a shift this year to be able to match the convention with the trip, which is going to be good future. So because of that, to adjust that period, there's 2 months of a prorated lifestyle credits. So they're actually paying you extra from July to August so that they can shift the 6-month growth period. Okay. So that's what this one means. And then they also have the current 26-week period. It does the math. And here's the most important thing. You look in this bottom, you look in the big red. This will tell you for every single category that you want to qualify for. Let's say you want to win one person without travel credits. This will tell you you grew by 5,000 payline points. That means that compared to last space, they grew at least one amount of 5,000 payline volume. That means they've earned an extra 25,000 lifestyle credits. And collectively, guess what? This is negative. You know what that means? That means that this teammate has already qualified for Punta Cana, not only without travel, but let's look at the second one. Above and beyond earned it. You see the second one says one person with travel credit grew by already 2 growth metrics of 5,000. This is -2. That means that she overdid it. So this person at this moment right now has already won 1 fully paid trip and travel for Punta Cana. Congrats to that teammate. But here's the most important part for driving this. The ones that are not negative. Let's say this person wants to win too, because this person wants to take her spouse and have an amazing time. This says that for 2 people with travel credit, that in the remaining period of growth from now until the end of February, week 9, 2025, you need to do a cumulative 39,024 payline volume. That doesn't mean much, does it? So you know what the next column is? This is the key. This tells you the average weekly payline volume you need in order to keep on track, where by the end of this contest period, if you did this amount, you would hit that goal and you would be able to earn 2 tickets with travel credit. So this teammate, for the next X amount of weeks from, let's see, week 47 right now to week 9, if this teammate averages 2602 payline volume, that's less than vice president. That's like a senior director. If this person does it every week from now on, this person will earn 2 tickets and travel as well too. So what's the game? This would be the minimum payline volume that I look for. I would look at my week and I would be like, all right, where am I right now? Of course, aim to grow. Of course, aim to do a lot more. But you know what I would at least do? Let's take a look. I would look at my volume right now and I would see for this week, this is the current week for this teammate. This teammate has multiple income positions now. Lori, there is a link to the tracker. If you go to in the Warrior Movement Facebook group, we have it in the featured section with the Punta Cana trip details. And in here, you have the tracker that's in there as well too. Same with the Australia trip. We'll go into that in just a little bit as well too. But what I would be doing is every week, if I know my minimum, I need to make sure I'm at least there. So you know what? Right now, it's only Monday, guys. It's only Monday. There's 2672 payline volume on income position 191. There's 176 payline volume on income position 193. This teammate is already above the average on a Monday. So this teammate is already on track easily to get the 2 tickets with the 2 travel. We haven't even started the week yet. Okay? So that's what you want to look at. And when you have that number, then it's all going to be good. You're absolutely welcome. Okay. Questions on this tracker for Punta Cana, and then we'll segue. The Malaysian one is pretty similar, but any questions on how any of this works? My encouragement, if you haven't yet, is go through this tracker, play with it, try it yourself, and then if you have any questions, then feel free to do that as well too. But feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself. Pam, is that you? Are you? No, you're good. Okay. I think we're good.
I have a question. You know, I always do when there's numbers involved.
Yes, please. What's up?
Quick question. Is it possible that a person has to do less? I don't know how I want to phrase this. So like I did mine and then I did one for my daughter. So
Yeah.
100% transparency because she's also in the business and I have access to her back office. But it looks like she needs to have less payline volume. She has less overall than I do. She needs to have, that's possible, right? That makes sense. Or am I doing something wrong?
Yes. So
because her base was lower because I went officer in my first 6 months period of the comparisons, and she doesn't have that. So she's growing from basically nothing. Is that fair? Okay.
Exactly what it is. Okay. So to clarify what Pia's saying, it's kind of, I like this contest because if you're new, I wouldn't say it favors new people, but it's simple for a new person. Because if your base was not much, you just do stuff.
Do something.
Exactly, right? if you are like Pia and you shot at the gates and you hit officer, then you have to first max that base and then you have to grow from there, which is great too. Like, I mean, that's what we all want anyway. But it is a slightly different calculation. You will have to do more productions like that. So yes, good
Okay,
question.
I just wanted to verbalize that and make sure that I was correct. Okay, and then there are the lifestyle credits transferable or no?
That is a good question. I actually don't know. Does anyone know? I didn't think that they were, but I could be wrong in that as well too. I was just talking to Pam about that. So if Pam's going to ask. Yeah, she's going to
So
find.
so so that's cool. So find out. And if they're not transferable, if you can use the lifestyle credits to buy product
Yeah,
for somebody who wants to buy product and not go on the trip, that does still increase their pay line volume if they buy products, right? With credits, it's still volume or no? Does it?
actually, yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Just checking.
Smart. Super smart. I didn't even think about that. So, guys, with the lifestyle credits, a couple cool things about it. If you don't use it for the trips, you can use them for e-wallet money and use it to buy products. So, what Pia is saying is if you use the lifestyle credits to buy product, that does have point value associated with it. So, it does also credit your payline volume growth as well, too, which is true. Also, the cool thing about lifestyle credits is they continue, as long as you're active, they continue to roll over. So, you don't lose them. The cool thing about the reason why partner code does a lifestyle credits is that let's say you're accumulating them over time. You're kind of a slow and steady person or life happened or something. This allows you to keep your points for the next period and keep on accumulating them. So maybe you don't get the trip in the first year, but how about year 5? You've been getting dumps of lifestyle credits and you're like, hey, I earned enough for a trip. So whether it took you 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years, hey, who here would be happy that you just have a trip regardless that you want, right? So that's a key right there. Awesome. Lori asked, you bought the bundle for the trip volume that was offered on November 2nd. They aren't showing in your back office. There is a slight lag, I believe. I was just checking with Donna. We were looking at PXP. There was a bundle of products that if you bought, there's lifestyle credits with it. You can actually, those were dropped, but I think there's probably like a month delay on those. If you want to check, you can always check with customer support as well too, by the way, with any of those types of information. All right. Okay. So your homework. I'm curious, did anyone already do this tracker and you feel pretty, I don't know if Pia's got it. You feel pretty confident you know what you need right now. Put a yes in the comments if that's the case, which is awesome. I'm curious as well too. Did anyone or does anyone have enough to win? Dana and Amelia, they won. Steven, you're brand new, so you need a good amount, which makes sense. Does anyone else actually win it? You have enough to actually redeem and win right now? I'm curious. Tammy has enough? Come on. Stacy has enough? Stephanie? Oh, no, wait. I know. I asked 2 questions. Yeah. So Tammy has enough. Does anyone else have enough to go?
I think I do. I'm not sure. I think I do for one.
Nice. Congratulations, Jadine. Let's go. You're going to Malaysia. It's just going to be good. Awesome. Awesome. Stephanie, you will get there. I believe every single one of us on this line can absolutely go. Pam?
The points are transferable. I called corporate on that elite line and got that answer just like that. So it's the person who has so in my example, it would be my husband. He would have to call corporate and say, I'm transferring my points over to my wife and we get to go together. Wow. Sorry.
Wow. That's a big deal. That's
it is huge. It's huge. So wait, but in doing the tracker, the question then becomes, since I know we're going to pull together anyway, because we both are going, there's like 0 chance that's going to happen. So, so can I include those points now in my tracker so that when we're doing week 43, I'm looking at mine and I'm looking at his and we put those numbers in together?
Good question. No, because the way that you're, and that's a really good question.
Yeah.
Some of us have multiple accounts you're running, family, spouse, daughter, son, friend, right? So if you have that, then you do have to calculate each account independently because each account has its own separate base. Each account is going to be paid separately as well too. But after the fact, let's say, for example, Stephen got 200,000 lifestyle credits. Let's say, Pam, you had 400,000 lifestyle credits. Then you convert them together, it sounds, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Then 600,000. Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much. I didn't ask her how many accounts you could put together. For example, you're running one of your kids'
Yeah.
accounts, right? Who are adults now. Yeah, and if those could be added in too, that would be
You
super.
can ask that too. Let's ask. That's a
Yeah.
really good question as well. Can you
I'll call
factor
that.
in
I'll let you know later because I want to pay attention. So
No
yeah,
worries.
I'll get
Thanks,
that answer. Thanks.
really good news. Oh,
Yeah.
that just adds a layer of interest right there. Okay. I had no idea. That's news to me. Sweet. Thanks for asking that. If you
Yeah.
don't, you don't get, right? So let me see. All right. Is there a special thing to click on? Tammy asked. The tracker is making a request permission to copy so you can edit. There should be, you should just be able to go to file and make a copy when you do this. You'd have to, yeah, make a copy first and then you can edit. So once again, if you're, yeah, go for it.
I made a copy and then I'm trying to enter my numbers in on the tab that says template and it says view only. And then it says must request must request access.
Tammy, can you click on that view only and then it pops up that you can see? It opens it up for you to write in because that's what we had to do.
Yeah, I'm clicking view only and it says request edit access.
So try this again from the start. So number one, let's say we're back on this tracker and it says make a copy. So the first thing you would want to do is make a copy. So let's say I made a copy right now and I made this. Awesome. If I make a copy, then the second thing I want to make sure is, are you on the document that is the copy? Or are you viewing the original document? So now,
okay.
Yeah. Which one are you on, Tammy?
I'm on the copy now.
You're on
yeah.
That worked?
Yeah, it sure did.
Awesome. Cool. Perfect.
Okay. So make sure you're on the copy. Maybe that's what I did.
Yeah. It looks the same because the names are pretty similar. But yeah, go to the copy one. Awesome. You got it. Okay, so to wrap things up then, let me go over real quick too, the Malaysia one. Guys, I just want to encourage you, the fact that you're going through this conversation, you are already literally at the top 0.1% of understanding of this compensation plan. I'm so proud of you, and we're so excited to enjoy this trip with every single one of you. So I just confirmed to you for the Malaysia one, this is in the Warrior Movement group on the featured section. Here's the document if you ever wanted to read it. Basically, it's around half the amount to go to Malaysia because, I mean, it's different economies and stuff like that. So technically, it's less work to do. And there's two ways to earn in Langkawi, something like that. Maybe I'll try to do it. It's tropical. It's nice. That's what I've been told. In this, if I'm going to scroll in a bit, you can either have lifestyle credits. If you notice, it's like half the amount, or actually it's just a straight P-line volume growth metric. Do you take the last 26 weeks, same pace, you take the next 26 weeks. If you grew by 20,000 P-line volume compared to the last one, you qualified. So by the way, many of you at this moment, you're already qualified. Like if we were to stop right now, so Pam's nodding yes, if you already grew at least 20,000 payline volume compared to the last 26 weeks, you're already there. If you really wanted to go to Malaysia, who here has grown at least 20,000 payline volume compared to your last, right? Yeah, put a me in the comments if that's the case, because guess what? That means that you can use your lifestyle credits for Punta Cana if you wanted to, and then you can actually just go to Malaysia if you really wanted to as well too. The trips are kind of back to back, so you're going to have to go to Punta Cana and then you're going to have to go to Malaysia. I am seriously debating, do I want to go or not? Like, I'm very much so debating. I know it's a 20-hour flight, Tammy. It's not that bad. There's worse ones out there. So anywho, kind of cool how that works, but that's it, right? Yeah, definitely come. So with this one, very similar. This is the tracker for the Malaysia trip. It's pretty much the same thing. You put in the same numbers into this pink column. You put in your you don't even need your base. This one's only calculating your payline volume growth. So you just take the first 26-week base, you compare it to the second 26-week base. If you win, you got it, then you're good to go. And you're fantastic. Dana, Amelia, let's go. Let's absolutely go. So yeah, This one, you don't even need your current lifestyle credits to factor it in because we're just going on the payline volume growth, but you're going to be earning lifestyle credits as well too. I know. Lori asked, not a dumb question. Once you make a copy, do you delete all the numbers in the pink? If you want to go from scratch and fill in your own numbers, I would delete the numbers in pink.
Just to clarify, the first tab is an example. So if you go to the template, that one should be blank for you to fill out. So when you make a copy of the template, there's 2 tabs. So the reason you're seeing numbers is because that's an example of the number of like, you know, how you should fill it out. But if you go to the template tab, that should be for you to fill out. But I mean, you can also delete the example too if you want to use that one. But that's why there's numbers there.
Absolutely. Yep.
Is it
Some
okay
are
if
like,
I
"Hmm." Was that a
Is it okay if I ask a question? So to make the copy, I just went to the to file and I hit make a copy. Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so I don't know, was that Becky that was speaking? I don't know where she's talking about another blank one.
You see down here on my screen on the bottom, there's 2 tabs on the copy. It'll say example and template. Example and template.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Awesome, thank you.
Yep, you got it for sure. Lily asked, lifestyle credits are called lifestyle rewards in the back office? Yes, correct. And then you'll view it on this page, or there's kind of a couple names. This one's called business rewards, right? So, hey, we're in the middle of a company figuring out all the little details to grow and everything. All right, perfect. So if you have homework is calculate your stuff. Once you have that, if you want to run and buy anyone, please do as well too. And then the next step would be, it's in your best interest to get as many of your people into this too. Even if someone's brand new, and even if they're going to Punta Cana, if they started today, I believe anyone that's really serious can go. They basically have to average a vice president payline volume weekly pace till the end of the period, and they can go, which is doable for someone that really wants it. Pam?
Yeah, quick question. In the past, for the business rewards, there was a circle for doing training. Is that gone completely?
Those are their
brand new people.
all those other things too.
Well, where do they find that? Because
if
I
you
don't
go
see the training.
to earning history in or transaction history and earning history. So back on this one, when you're in your report, if you go on the earning history and transaction history, it'll actually do a breakdown of where you get the credits and how it worked and everything. There
But where
are
do you go for the education. Where's the training now? Is my question.
Oh, the training to earn those points is in the Share app. It's in the tools. It's in the onboarding. Is it not there anymore? They removed that?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm pretty sure they did.
I thought
I don't think it's in there. I don't see. I went to tools and I don't see it.
Okay.
I could.
Maybe. Let me see. Tips. Maybe it's not there. And even if it's not there, it's literally like 480 points, which is nothing. So none of them really matter. I mean, it's nice to feel like you're moving, but it really will not even put a single scratch on your actual trip itself.
All right.
You know? Yes. Donna asked, if you were to fill out the template for one of your teammates, how do you share the filled out template with them so they can continue to keep filling the tracker? Okay. Yeah. If you want to, let's say you do, which is a good idea, you might just make this for someone. So let's say that you made a copy, you're filling in things for someone, or you want to share it with them. If it's your own copy, you go to share. And then if you go to the bottom top right, you put a share, and then you can put in their email. You can make sure that they're a viewer or an editor. And then this way you can share the document and both actually work on it together like that. And if in doubt, Google how to share documents on Google Sheets, and it'll show you how to do that. All right, cool. Let me bring it back home here. Every single one of us can be on this trip. Like seriously. When I don't say will be because it's up to your decision if you want to actually come, but you can all qualify for this trip. Here's the simplest way that I would look at it. If you do the right things, you will grow no matter what. So do the math, know your metrics. But I shared this, I'm starting to gamify how our compensation plan works. I shared this on the Academy, and I'm still working on it. but I'm labeling down the areas that if you focus on in your team, what are the roadmap? What is the blueprint? We talk about the 6 and 6 blueprint. This is like, what is the 6 and 6 blueprint? Here it is. So how am I looking at this? Look at each of these 5 categories as first goals yourself. All right, am I doing my 2-in-1, 2 customers and 1 partner? Am I earning my $500? Ultimate manager? Am I hitting director, unlocking my savings? Am I driving towards officer and increasing my weekly payline volume? This is the category which most of us are in. This is the place that people can really start to win trips. And then are you senior officer plus? What I would be focusing on is playing this game again. Think, where am I at right now? What's the next level? How do you get to the next level? Focus on as many of your people winning the other levels as well too. Okay. For sake of example, we have an outstanding challenge right now where I'm offering a personal coaching session with anyone on the team that is able to enroll 2 customers and 1 activated brand partner in this last week. What's the intention of this? Of course, everyone here, I'd absolutely challenge you to do that as well too. But the goal of this really is for you to be able to leverage something like this so you can play a game and you can leverage this to help your people to be able to win. So if you utilize this and you go up to your teammates, but hey, how would you like to have a personal coaching session with James to help you with your next promotion? You could probably do it too, by the way, but a prophet's not appreciating their own land. So we just play these games. So we have Sandy Gledhill. She's currently vice president. She's like eyes on the tiger eyes of a tiger. That's what it's called on officer. But she's getting her teammates to qualify for this. And then I'm going to sit down with them. I'm going to go over their promotions. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with these teammates. I'm going to put them onto this blueprint. I'm like, your next goal, congrats, you got your first paycheck. When are we going to get you to manager? When are we going to get you to ultimate? And how do we do that? The more people you have running through these places, the faster you're going to be able to grow in your business and grow in your payline volume and everything. Okay. So there's a quick little strategic tip on what you can do to utilize this. I'll drop this in the director lounge too. It's still a work in progress, which is why I haven't posted it anywhere. I'm playing through the messaging, but it's starting to roll off the tongue a little bit better. Okay. So that's it on my end. Last question or comment from anybody. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being confident and more excited, 1 being, oh my gosh, I'm so demoralized. How do you feel right now regarding to trips? You don't have to be a 10 if you're not a 10, but 10, wow, lots of 10. Awesome. All right. I hope it's more than a 1. I hope it's more than where it was before. I hope it gives you clarity and a focus. So now you have another game to play. And I promise you, play this game. And not only will you be able to earn the trips, no problem, and help your teammates earn it, the bigger win is you're going to be able to look at your income and you're going to feel confident that it's going to be consistently growing. You're going to know that you have a strong base business. You're going to know that every week it's just going to continue to grow month after month after month. And you're going to be happy when you actually look at your bank and you're like, wow, this actually is a significant business. And you're just playing this fun game right there. All right, team, on that, so proud of you. Let us know if you have any questions at all. Let's all qualify for these trips and go celebrate together. All right, on that, talk soon, guys.